everyone, welcome back to the Chat and Dad podcast. We are today celebrating the first day of the Canadian and US trade war.
U.S. Canada Mexico trade war.
US Canada. Well, I mean, are we in a trade war with Mexico?
No. It's
No.
more of everyone against the U.S. Totally.
Exactly. So yeah, but it's just like, yeah, happy first day of trade war.
God.
I don't know what
Worst.
happened, but we made it. We're right here.
Yeah. We've done it, people. We've done it. Now
Yeah.
everything is now officially way more expensive, but we have to
Mm.
accept it because it's It's the patriotic thing to do, to
Yes, it
support
is.
Canadians.
Yes. Thank you, King Charles.
Oh man. I mean, I don't think the tariffs has affected you in any way, right? Like your business?
Me?
No, yeah, because
Well,
you're
no, I
just
don't have any overheads other than all my gear, right? And then all my
yeah,
gear lasts like years. But at the same time, it's like, if everything's getting more expensive, it's like I also need to adjust prices because that's what normal people do.
yeah. Have you noticed anything going up? I haven't actually walked into a grocery store since
Well, no, me too.
yesterday.
I think we'll really start experiencing it next week, especially at grocery stores, because like they get stock like almost like daily.
Yeah,
So I think like we won't. So we probably saw like things from like still from last week, but
yeah,
I think I think
100%.
I think we really will see the effects next week if word on the street is like a certain president might roll back the tariff today,
Mm,
which
I
is in the time of recording March 5th. We'll see if it's right or not.
yeah. Well, okay, wait. Let me just check the news. The U.S. president tells Canada's Trudeau not good enough, and this happened just 7 minutes ago because they're talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, by the time this podcast goes live, we're recording on a Wednesday. So when this goes out Wednesday night, we might already have reverted all the tariffs.
Hey, I think okay, I have a prediction
hmm
where it's like because right now it's like a 25% tariff on all things, right? Is it
Yeah.
all things or just general things?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I do have to add. I'm literally looking it up as we go. So Trump has given a 1 month tariff exemption to automakers after he spoke to the heads of General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis.
Yeah, it's basically just like who's his friends.
It's a negotiations basically, right?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think for people who are feeling a lot of anxiety, I feel like you know what, don't be too disheartened because like in the end, this guy is just like a businessman.
Yeah.
So like
A
he will
businessman,
listen to like an agreement if it's like
if it
economically
benefits him.
beneficial.
No,
Yes.
if it benefits him.
No, but
Is
that's the thing. Like with businessmen, you can predict them, right? In the end, it's just like
can you
personal gain.
can you predict Trump?
Well, I think I think there are some times where he's like, batshit crazy, but there are some times where he's like quite entertaining.
Yeah, I think his saving grace, unfortunately, is that he is quite funny.
Mm.
Like a
That's
lot
the
of the
problem,
stuff that
right?
he randomly says, and it holds you in, unfortunately. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
But at the same time, he is also like an anxiety machine as well. It's like imagine if you're like the everyday normal people in Ukraine, and you're like, no, no, no,
dude, that is messed up.
right? It's messed up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm just like, oh man, just why would you hold that over people's heads when
Exactly, right? So
there
I'm
are
just like,
lives on the line?
right? So it's just like, but when it's like, calling our prime minister government Trudeau, I mean, at the same time, I'm just gonna, sometimes I can't help chuckle because like, wow, the nerve of this person.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Ugh. Man, like the worst part though is like I think it's really impacting the I mean, obviously we know this, like it's impacting the culture, but I think it's
Mm,
like giving people validity to just do like the worst shit possible because
mm,
it's like it's an attention economy. So like the worse shit you do, the more attention you get, and you're basically rewarded for like negative behavior, and that's what it really irks me because like yesterday, I don't know if you saw, I was on Reddit, and then like this like blew my mind, but like this is what the culture has become. So let's see, Westfield. Uh, okay, so I'll show you this. I'll show you. I'll send you a link actually. Okay, so
Okay.
shit. Oh, I turned off my camera for a second. How do I send you a link in here? Uh, I'm just gonna share my screen. I think that'd be fun. Okay, so basically, what happened was like in Westfield, I believe this is in the UK somewhere, London,
Yeah.
East London shopping center. A
Okay.
kid literally threw a couch from the second floor
Oh, I saw
down
that. Yeah.
third floor of Westfield, almost crushing shoppers below.
Yeah, I saw that, right? It's like a huge ass ottoman kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. He threw it, and he was so close to hitting some kid,
Mm-hmm. Right?
and then he runs away, and then thank God this kid got arrested.
Arrested.
The
Yeah.
teens got arrested, but it's just like, dude, like, come
Yeah.
on.
Well, it's kind
Yeah,
of that. I think, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like, what people don't realize, like, our attention is like one of our most valuable currency because it's what we focus on, what we like invest in, right?
yeah, and I mean,
So
like,
I
it's
think I
definitely
think
yeah,
yeah, I found like I found a lot of wisdom in people who just decide to quit social media and their life is so much better. Because if you think about it, right, like let's say with like this terrorist as well, like it will affect everyday people like us, mostly in like I think the most direct way is just like simple like grocery price increase, right? But then like for business owners, things like that, they might have to start like laying off people or like
yeah,
or
yeah.
like maybe or like the fact they have to like deal with like reduced number of like economic like activities. So it's just like
Yeah, well, you decrease overhead, but obviously, like the rest of the work just gets passed over to the employees left over. So,
exactly. I mean, and everyone's purchasing power is now less because everything gets more expensive, right? So
I mean, that's my whole thing with like remote workers. Like, understand the savings of hiring remotely, but at the same time, as a result, you're trying to spur, like, if your customer is the local economy, that means the people in the local economy have less money to spend with your business. So it's like a
hmm
weird double-edged sword of,
hmm
you know like, yeah, so it's weird.
yeah, it's definitely a very very I never expected to be in a trade war.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like partially we did come to expect it when, during the US elections campaign,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it's messed up.
But I
Yeah.
mean, like, we always, like, at the same time, I always think, like, well, as Donald Trump, he says one thing and then he doesn't do it. It's kind of normal for him,
Well, we called this bluff last month, and then
right?
he like pulled out
So he
right
probably, he
before.
probably, he probably calls, but wait until the end of the week. I just want to see. But
Yeah,
at the same time, for if that's like a good saving grace, I did when I was in Indonesia. I grew up in like in 1998, which is like the Asian economic crisis, where the
night,
value of the Indonesian currency like almost like tripled or like decreased. Sorry, devalued
as in
like
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 inflation. Is that what you're saying?
yes, yeah. It was like
Oh, interesting.
it's
Yeah,
crazy. Like like one U.S. dollar was like one U.S. dollar was like 50 cent. One U.S. dollar was like 55,000 rupiah, and by the end of the month it was like almost like 12,000 rupiah. The worst part was almost like the worst was like 18,000, and that was like in the scope of a year.
was it right now?
It's like 15,000. So it's been controlled. But still, it's just like
So $1 equals 15 rupiah.
yeah.
Gotcha.
15,000.
15,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
15,000 rupiah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Around that number.
Huh.
Sorry, 16,000. But still,
16,000. So that's
that's up.
better, right? Yeah, so
No, it's
that's
worse
good.
for us.
No, because you get Oh, worse for you if you're in if you're in Indonesia, but like
Yeah,
better
but
if
if
you're in
you're
the
like
United
holding
States.
US dollars, it's nice because you go home and suddenly you're like, oh, my money doubled, right? It's just
Yeah, I guess I mean it's the same idea as like the U.S. to Canadian currency. I've been paying attention. Like even today, it's at 1.443, right? Yeah, I think 1.45 is the highest I've seen, but like I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 1.5, right?
yeah.
So
I guess that's why like countries like how you say countries like El Salvador uses USD as like legal tender
yes, and Bitcoin,
and Bitcoin. Yeah.
and Bitcoin.
Is it time for us
Yeah,
to adopt Bitcoin, everybody?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Well, okay. This is a pretty good segue, by the way.
Let's
Talking
do it.
about how U.S. tariffs and how it's destroying a trade war is destroying our economy.
Hmm.
I think that goes right into our topic for today. We
Okay.
talked about last week. Basically, what would you do if you discovered you only had 1 year left to live? Which I feel like we're
Because the
getting there.
economy is destroyed.
Again, great segue because
Yeah.
it's totally
Okay.
appropriate for this. Yeah.
Yeah. And the economy is destroyed. Yeah.
Oh man, yep. Dude, yeah. I have a couple of things I will say. Like I wrote down, they're not all great.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's start with you then.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Man. Okay. Let's start off with the like less extreme ones. I will say.
Hmm.
Like I feel
Yeah.
like I went a little overboard with this,
Hmm.
but Uh, okay, let's start off with the boring one. Okay, so
Okay.
obviously, I mean, like the usual answers would be like bucket list extremes.
Okay.
Like I think I have a couple of things that I would love to do off my bucket list. Again,
Hmm.
boring things, right? Like travel the world. I would definitely quit my job. I
Okay.
would basically be like, okay, well, got my savings. Let's do this. Let's crash and burn and let's see how much I can use an entire year to get to zero and then
Hmm.
just like do all my bucket list stuff. So like
Hmm.
I want to go travel. I want to go to. I actually really want to go to Hawaii. That's on my
Ooh.
list.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I want to go climb different mountains. I want to do the Everest, Mount Everest. I want to do the was it Kilimanjaro,
Ooh.
K3. Um, I found out recently there's one in Venezuela called the Mount Roraima or something like that.
Okay.
If you're familiar, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's amazing. It looks so cool. Um,
Wait,
I
are you
would.
into hiking?
Oh, dude. Oh yeah. Do you want to go hiking
Okay.
sometime?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's
find a
do it.
time. Now
Let's
that
do
I'm
it.
more of a contractor and my schedule's a lot more flexible, I think we should go out and
Hmm.
do some running and whatnot. You and me.
Yeah.
See, like that again. That's the easy stuff. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pass that over to you, Artha.
All right. Okay. If I only have 1 year left to live, either two things might happen, okay? But both of them in the same category. An extreme physical change.
Well, I mean, if you had 1 year to live, I think that would happen naturally. But yes,
No, but it's like
depending on
no, but
reason.
it's like no. Let's say it's not like a heart attack situation or like
Fair
it's
enough.
more like a final destination situation where it's like I'm gonna get hit by like a refrigerator falling or something.
So
That's
you're
my fight.
saying, oh, I guess I guess it's not like a health
Is
sickness
that a
thing.
health issue, right?
It's
So
like
I either like will
yeah,
be like one, be super fit, finally get the abs that I wanted all my life. Okay.
nice, okay,
Or the complete opposite, where I just like let myself go and then just eat whatever I want because I only have 1 year to live anyway. So what's the point?
dude. I actually had that as my like one thing I wrote down was like living on the edge. I'd be like, how many calories can I consume in one go?
Hmm.
Because I watch a lot of like I don't know why, but like there's a couple of YouTube channels that I watch quite often. Beard Meats
Hmm.
Food, Eric the Electric. I don't know if you're familiar with those two. Um, there's the other guy. I forgot his name right now off the top of my head, but basically they so Beard Meats Food is like this guy who has a giant beard. So that's
I
beard
think I know, and he just like goes to buffets and eat or like do food challenges.
food challenges. So he
Okay.
basically travels around the US, UK, I think Alberta as well. I think there was one episode, and then he just takes on the giant food challenges, and then like you finish it, you get a T-shirt. Often you get your meal comped, etc. And he films the whole thing. And I don't know. I don't know why I keep watching him, but like he has a new one every single week. So I'm
Mm.
like, how is he so goddamn fit? Yeah,
Right?
I would want to do that. So like okay, so that's Beard Beans Food, but then Eric the Electric is this guy who's like, so I he actually inspires me in that like he is super jacked, super
Mm-hmm.
fit because he does like Ironmans and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
then at the same time, during the random weeks, he also does like 48-hour challenge of I think his most recent one is like 72-hour challenge to eat the biggest food that he can find. So he ordered like a giant cookie, he ordered a giant cake, giant
Mm-hmm.
donuts, all that stuff. And then he would just
Yeah.
consume all of that on camera. And then there
Okay.
would be other ones where it's like 48 hours, I want to consume 50,000 calories.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I want to try that. And then gorge myself and see what happens. And then just feel really bad.
You should. Do you end up doing that food challenge, the fillet thing?
No, dude. Do you want to do it with me?
I mean, yeah, if it happens again.
There's one in there's way more all you can eat places now in Richmond because it's
Yo,
a
yo,
good business model now.
there's one called Jintan that I really want to go.
What is it?
It's meat, it's beef, it's Japanese, it's like Japanese Korean barbecue.
Jingtan?
Jingtan, yeah. Sorry, forgot the G.
Yeah, no, I've been there. It's in Richmond. I'll take you.
Yeah,
You want to go?
let's go, bro. Let's
Yeah, I'll take
go.
you. Let's do it. Okay, let me
Let's do
write
it.
this down. Okay, this is
Okay.
a nice side tangent. Take
Mm,
Artha to Jingtan. It's
that's
good.
yeah.
If I'm remembering the place correctly, it's like this tiny stove in the middle, and then they just give you food, and then you just cook it yourself. The
Exactly.
problem, the problem, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a problem. It's like they limit you to like an hour and a half, and
Mm-hmm.
then the I think my one complaint was that the stove just cooked way too slowly.
They're smart.
Yeah, I mean it's smart, and then like the surface area of the stove is small, so like you kind of have to wait for your food. So like the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a little slow, but then obviously you're still full by the end because you eat right. It adds up, yeah. And then they have this side table where you can get extra food, so like all the deep fried shit. It was fantastic. But
Fantastic.
but
Okay.
actually, let me double check something. I think they're closed, aren't they? No, no, never mind. I'm thinking something else. There's um there's a place in Richmond, I believe that was Jingtan, and I think that was closed. But
Well, there's another one called Gyubi as well. So
I read about that too. Man,
yeah, Gyubi is pretty good, but it's more expensive.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
but I think
it's all
you
around
get
the same.
more options, but in the end, like I think Jingdan is more affordable, and in the end, you just want to get the meat, all right? If you go
I
like
mean,
all
in the
you,
end, it's like 30-40 bucks per person.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
there is my friend actually told me about this one restaurant called the Meat Up,
yes,
MEAT up. But
hmm
so they used to be just like skewers and whatnot, but now they have an all you can eat model. So now I believe you get skewers and sushi
hmm
and hot pot. Or
okay.
was it just skewers and hot pot? But like you get basically everything in one. All you can eat.
I
It's
guess
it's a
so.
lot. It's a lot of food.
Okay, right. We should do that. We should make all you can eat thing again, man. Because
You and me, man.
whenever I visit my sister in California before the trade war, it's like, they have really good deals where like all you can eat, and sometimes like it's like 25, or like 25, or like have you been to like Golden Corral?
Uh, I was in Seattle in Decemberish. I was actually planning on going to a Golden Corral, but ultimately decided on another all you can eat place called Sumo Sushi,
Yeah.
and it was amazing.
Okay, but
Best
yeah,
all you can eat sushi place.
but that's the thing, right? It's just like I don't like the states, like like home of capitalism. They just like fucking like so much food because even in Golden Corral, you can still get like steaks and stuff.
Wait, you can?
Yes. I know, right?
I feel like I'm missing something
And
here.
for lunch, it's like $15 or something. But it's like for dinner, it's like 22. But it's still like that's a pretty good deal. But at the same time, I also feel that's why like most people in the states have an obesity epidemic.
100%. Like I feel you. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so down. I whenever you want to go down the States with me, so we can
Let's
get
do
some
it.
all you can eat, I'm super down.
Let's start with Jingtan first. Okay.
Dude,
Take
I'm
a,
down. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. After this podcast, let's set up a time. You and me. Let's go for
Let's
dinner.
do it. Let's do it.
Done. 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 Okay. Let's
Okay.
keep going. Okay.
All right.
Now I think we're gonna go to the more extreme side of things because I
Okay.
felt like we got the easy stuff out of the way. Okay. Okay. So let me just start off with saying like I do not condone this, and I would totally not actually do this if I had 1 year to live. Okay. I just want to throw this out there. You know,
But you're gonna do it.
so nobody believes like nobody listen to exact like believe what I'm saying. These are all theoretical. Okay.
But you're gonna
Let's
do
go.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. If I
Okay.
had
All
1 year
right.
to
What are you
live,
gonna
of
do?
course this is totally what I'm going to do. Okay. So I actually want to try faking my death for fun.
Okay. All right.
Just to see people's reaction.
See if people are sad or not.
Ah, man, yes, I know, it's terrible. But yeah, I would do it just so, again, theoretical, but I would love to just see how the world reacts. You know, like I think people really show their true feelings when, you know, show their true personality
Mm-hmm.
when they have nothing to lose. And when
Okay.
you have nothing to lose, I think that's when you see it all. So I would love to know if I faked my death and then people be like, you know, I want to know, like, Artha, do you actually like me or not on
You know
my
what?
deathbed?
I'll show up in your funeral. Just let me know when you're gonna do it. I'll just show up, and then I'll somehow like already prepare a will with your forged signature, and somehow like I get all your inheritance.
Yeah, you.
None for your family or your daughter whatsoever. Somebody's like, I give I give my house to my podcast partner.
Like you just walk in and you just walk up to Lynn and you're just like, Pepper's mine now, okay? Thank you. Yeah.
No, Lynn can keep Pepper.
You want do you want the daughter?
I'll take the house. I
Yeah,
no,
you just
oh my
walk
god,
up.
your I don't know how your wife is gonna think about me. If you're listening to this podcast, you know it's like it is a
Remember, this is all theoretical.
I don't
I just
condone
want to
what
throw
I'm
this out
doing.
there.
Okay, I don't condone what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no control over anything that's
I
happening
don't
right
have
now.
control in forging this person's fake
Yeah.
death will.
Yeah. The other question is like, is it forging if you like put a pen in my hand where I'm like dead, and then you just hold my hand and then write my signature? So is that really forging, or is that just using my hand to forge or
Hmm.
to write? Anywho, okay,
Well,
all right,
yeah.
back to
I
you.
mean, who knows? Right? It'll be like this, like movie situation.
Oh man.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
back to you, sir.
If I have 1 year to live, right? I think one thing what I would always want to do is I want to be like those spiritual spiritual people who like move to like a temple in the mountains and abstain from like talking and like all like worldly needs in the world. You know what I mean?
You mean one of those like silent retreats?
Yeah, but I feel those are like more like for those for more for like Westerners who are like confused. This actually want to like embrace my spiritual side.
So you'd like, wait, are you going to Dagestan?
Yes, yes. No, no, not that. You know, it's like it's like maybe sort of like those like silent retreats as well. But it just feels very like backpackers who go to like Bali or like India to find themselves.
No, that's great. I actually didn't think of that. I'm
No,
about like,
I just want to feel how it feels when I'm like in touch with my spiritual side. Let's say like I have to like meditate for a month. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
yeah, so like essentially you're becoming a monk and then you're
Hmm.
like living up in the mountains
Yeah.
wearing your, robe and everything. And then,
Hmm.
I mean, this is super cliche, but would you like walk under a waterfall and it's like, do you know what I'm talking about? Would you do that? But like, that means your hair wouldn't, you'd shave your head and all your wavy curls, you'd be gone.
I can. I was thinking of getting a buzz cut anyway.
Wait, are you actually?
I mean, I got buzz cuts all the time.
Dude, that's awesome. I've always
Yeah,
wanted.
I have no physical attachment to my hair. Just my non-existent abs that is not here yet.
Well, I think as a monk, you just naturally get abs because I think they just
Hopefully, man.
they
Hopefully,
meditate
that's the
instead
dream.
of eating. I think that's the
Exactly. Pain
you know
is just in the head. Okay, how about
exactly.
you? What's your last thing?
You know what? I actually for my last thing I would I wanted to turn around at you to you
Hmm.
and I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Straight up, what laws would you break?
Dude, that's the third thing I was
Yeah,
gonna do.
you know what I mean?
That's,
Like
yeah.
I'm curious, what laws would you break?
Okay. All right. So I was actually thinking kind of like a Luigi Mangione situation,
Wow.
but I don't want to murder someone because it's like I'm a pacifist. I actually don't like hurting people,
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
genuinely. Like
Like physically though, right? Because you emotionally hurt me
yeah.
every
So
week.
I almost want to do like a Robin Hood situation where if I can like
Oh,
hack into like the CEO bank account and just like send it to all the people who need like insurance in the state because somehow this country don't have like insured healthcare for all. I think
that's
that's like
actually,
something I want to do. So I think that's better than like murdering someone. You know what I mean?
that's like the whole idea with like, how I read this on Reddit. People throw it theoretically, and then I'm just like, you could totally do it. So if you, so like, how Elon Musk, like
Mm-hmm.
he had the Doge, right? Like, anyways, he gained access to all the government information and all that. So like, you could essentially go in and delete everyone's debt, right? Like I
Okay.
think the whole thing that people were saying, like if you eliminate the Department of Education, does that mean that
Mm-hmm.
people's student loans are no longer valid? Do you know what I mean?
Mm, yeah.
Because like you eliminate the department, and then that means that there's no more education per se for everyone, and then like can you essentially go in and like potentially even like mess up everyone's records, and then like they no longer know like whose debt is attached to which one.
Exactly. Because if you have that much money, like, can you really like keep up with like, oh, I lost like $2,000 from a like $100 million bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
that's yeah. Like I'd be curious to like essentially it's like you're creating chaos just to see how people would react, and then
Hmm.
whether or not there's enough like fail safe
Well,
to protect you.
not necessarily to see how people react. I just think like I want to do like a Robin Hood thing where I like
Yeah,
do good by doing a not good thing
yeah,
from
yeah.
people who deserve it. You know?
So you're basically taking money from the rich and giving it to like dispersing it. Yeah,
Yeah, dispersing it. That's what I want. Because like I don't need money because I'm gonna die in like a couple of months anyway. So,
yeah, yeah.
all right. So I
Would
just
you
like,
still would you still pay your taxes?
oh shit, man, no, no, don't get that recording as a top podcast. I pay my taxes, everyone. Okay, I write off a lot of things, but I do pay my taxes.
Well, I mean, I think that's the right thing to do as a business owner. So
Yeah,
I agree.
but okay, how about you? What kind of like criminal activity you would do?
Man, I mean, you said mine, right? Like Robin Hood is totally right up my alley.
Hmm.
But I mean, if I were to put another one together, give me one. Give me one. I feel like you have a better one. You're more
What?
creative with these things. Okay.
What? Like criminal activity?
Man, dude, I had like a no. I don't want to say it because we already went over the teens hurl seat over the in
You
the
want to
mall.
hurl furniture from the mall?
No. You know what? I wrote that down, but I'm like, no, that is a terrible thing to do. Even if I had 1 year to live, I would not do it. That
Hmm.
is like the worst thing I could do. Yeah. Um, man, I got nothing.
I
Would
don't know. I think
would you
what
jaywalk?
what oh, I jaywalk all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Would
I
you
think
do?
like
Yeah.
as long as for me as long as it's not harming someone or causing an external party like hurt, I'm
Yeah.
kind of okay. So like jaywalking is okay.
So
Stealing is
you
not okay.
okay, so theoretically, I got something for you because I just remembered something from Final Destination.
Yes.
You've watched all the movies, right?
No.
Wait, no? What do you
I
mean?
watched the first three and that's it.
Okay. So I can't remember from uh which one in the series, but there was one that actually resonated with me because okay, so like you know how Final Destination, so the whole concept is, you have that scene at the beginning so you know like in which order people will die in,
Hmm.
right? So let's say you're person, 2 out of 7. Or sorry, no, you're person 6 out of 7, right?
Hmm.
So you have to wait till person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dies
Yeah.
before, number 6 or 7 dies, right? So during that time, you can basically do whatever you want
I'm
until
invincible, right?
person number 5 dies. And
Yeah.
then, you as person number 6 will die, right? So if this was theoretically in that whole scenario, like if you only had 1 year to live because you're person number 6 and like you have a defined timeline as to like when you're officially going to die, then I'll be like, okay, well, I know exactly when I'm going to die. So then for the next year, anything that I do, I'm essentially invincible. Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
So then I'd be like, okay, what laws would I break? I would just obviously with keeping in mind like I don't hurt anybody, I'd be like, I'm going to drive as fast as I can, knowing that I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
you still go to jail, but you don't die in jail. So that's until until your time is up.
It's true. But then,
So maybe do it like a
yeah,
week before you die, and like
that's
like three
true.
days before you die, become like the biggest vigilante in the world.
Yeah. Oh man, would you do it? Would you be Batman?
I would if I have the money.
Yeah. It'd be like I mean we talked about this, the guy from like Chicago who like started his own
Oh yeah, and
Batman
then it
gang or
turns out
whatever.
he was like selling drugs or something.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
literally like you either die a hero or live long enough to be a villain.
he became a villain,
You
unfortunately.
become a villain, yeah, unfortunately.
All right, man. Let's wrap it up.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, great chat as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, what did we learn today? We learned that
We would do some
Terraform.
we would do some vile things if we only had 1 year to live. However, I think we still are good people on the inside, and everything we talked about today is completely theoretical. Is that correct?
Yes. Well,
Excellent.
I don't know, man. I'm like, are we good people?
Well, I think we'll find out if we actually had only 1 year to live. So,
Okay.
and that's a
All right.
great wrap up. And there we go. All right, Artha, where can we find us?
Well, you can find us in Chad and Dad podcast.
Yeah, dude. We are officially on YouTube. Again,
Yeah, I
YouTube,
guess.
Spotify, Amazon Music, a bunch of other ones that are lesser known, but we are always there. So, got our automation set up finally. So we're good to go.
Woohoo! Alrighty.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is all for today. Thank you everyone for watching. We will see you next week again.
All right.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.